quick. Anything can really. It's anybody's game, really.
Right. Well, it is the shorter the race, the more errors are possible, right? In
Correct.
such a short amount of time. When the intensity is condensed, it is really about mitigating errors. So when you have a start,
I like that.
it actually makes a little bit of a difference having a cleaner start versus getting caught in the water or catching a crab a little bit, because you have so little time to make up for that. So the higher the intensity and the shorter the race, the more you need to really mitigate all of those little individual errors.
A condensed intensity.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like that. Not a concise, but a condensed.
Condensed. Yeah, you're mashing that 2K intensity all the way down into 1,000 meters. So if you catch one crab, that could be the end of your race.
It really could. To the line now, we've got 4 entries in the Women's Open E double. This will be the second heat. We are looking to send 3 of these 4 entries to the final A. In lane 1, we have Alexandria. Lane 2, Nashville. Lane 3, Boulder. And lane 4, Dallas.
That's right, and it looks like Dallas right now is our current leader, followed very closely by Alexandria, and then Nashville, followed by lane 3, Boulder.
Whitney, what would you do differently between a 2K and a 1K, right? I know these athletes, they're out here, they're doing the 1Ks, but what do you think is the biggest difference from an athlete perspective shifting from a 2K into a 1K?
Oh gosh, I mean that is a huge question. I definitely want to be very, very sharp. I want very, very sharp rowing. I am a sucker for catches too, as a coxswain too. I'm very, very particular about what I want my crew's catches to look like. So getting that time in the water, getting those blades in the water, getting anchored in, and spending a lot of time punching the hips forward, but with that grip on the face of the blade underneath the water. So that's so crucial when it is a matter of rate, of bringing the rate up just a little bit higher, because typically you can, again, if as we talked about, condensed intensity, so typically the rate can come up just a little bit higher. And then also we're going to probably sprint a little bit early too, because a race like this, again, we've said it once, we'll say it again, it's go and then go harder, right? So it's a lot of fun. Again, it depends on the training of the crew as well and where your strengths lie. So I'm going to be very deliberate and very sharp with my execution, but I'm also going to try to bring the rate up probably a little bit early and just have a lot of fun with it. Unless I have a grand final. Again, I'm going to think about whether I'm qualifying or have another grand final to race. I might try to save a little bit for the grand final, but again, depends on that qualifying position and if I'm fighting for a lane or not. So
Fair.
That would kind of depend. So there are a few variables there, but what about you?
I think my biggest difference is that, over 2K, it's a longer race, right? So you want to be a little bit lower in the cadence. Like I would focus in a little bit more on power generation, where in a 1K, I would really rely on the cadence to really drive the power, right? Like 1,000 meters, if we break that down, if we're in a really solid crew, it's about 10 meters each stroke, especially in an A, right? So I would have my crew, if I was coxing it, right? I would have them beat probably a little bit higher, because you don't have that much room to really improvise, right? If you're going head to head with somebody and you're going bow ball to bow ball, it's not like you can really say, okay, we'll let them run out and we'll catch them. 1,000 meters is going to go quick. We've seen times under 3 minutes so far, right? You really just can't wait. So I think it has to do a little bit more of the overall approach to it. Like, I love what you're saying about crisp catches and being sharp and being clean, being deliberate, right? But I think my overall mentality is, okay, it's got to be more so of speed and not necessarily just generating good power.
Absolutely. Yeah, you are right about that. And we are looking at Dallas in lane 4 at about, let's see if I can get that stroke rate again. They keep changing it on me. 33. So very well done again to Dallas for starting to walk away from Alexandria in lane 1. And it is looking like lane 2, Nashville, stroked by Denise Sennett. Coming in that third place position, again, that gorgeous blue shell. They're rowing down there on Percy Priest Lake. In the winters, they row in an abandoned airplane hangar.
I love that.
Just to get out of the cold there. And then we have lane 3, Boulder, stroked by Katya Stokely. again, just rounding out the field there. We will get a stroke rate here for you on Boulder. And it looks like they're at about a 33, 34, but caught a little bit of a bobble there, so trying to collect themselves again just before the finish line. And again, with Masters E like this, we never know how long these crews have actually been rowing together. So these athletes could perhaps have been rowing singles for a long time or bigger boats, but they're out here in a different boat class or rowing with pair partners that they don't typically row with. So we never know what the history of each athlete actually is